Well, the Akaso Brave. You know, I used to always check firmware updates for action cameras just to kind of let you guys know about it, and I've kind of been a little laxed on that, but I went ahead and looked to see if there was a new firmware for the Akaso Brave 8. Lo and behold, there was in the Akaso phone app, so we're going to check out and see if this firmware is actually any good, and that's coming right up. You can hear the dog in the background. He's chatting with the neighbor's dog. So, for those of you that remember the fig tree and its little dilemma that it was dead basically after the freeze that we had 2 years ago, well, my wife, right there, hard at work, she was nice enough to cut down, because she got one of these electric chainsaws that she just had to have, but she was nice enough to cut down the old fig tree and try it out. Luckily, it wasn't that hard of a job because it was completely dried out, as you can see. But guess what? The fig tree has come back to life. So this fig tree has got to be every bit of, I would say, 30 plus years old because of how tall that it was. Oh my gosh, that dog is just having a good time. Anyway, but look, we got offshoots that came out of the root system. And the nice thing about that is that, hey, we're going to have some figs again. So this 30 plus year old fig tree is still alive. And we got some outshoots that came out of the root system, I guess, that continued on underground. But she's looking good. Maybe this year we're going to get some figs out of it. And just for a little reference, I'll show you how tall it used to be. So you see where it's at right now. There's the old root system. There's our wellhead. And that root right there, it got some offshoots. This tree used to be this tall. Used to be that wide and all the way out to here. And it probably came to right about here before. So you could never see the wellhead. But it's alive, and that's good, because we get to get some figs again. I felt really bad about this one dying, and I was really worried about my daughter's plum tree. And look, last year it looked pretty decrepit. This year it's actually looking really good, and the peach tree is looking good this year, and so is the apple tree. And we got some little buds here. I don't know if you can tell. Hopefully we'll get that pollinated. Like I said, the peach tree looks good. I actually got a peach on it right up here. First peach. Oh, I say first. There's 2 more, 3 more. Anyway, a bunch of peaches. And apple trees got some little spring flowers coming up. The rest of it's not yet, but it's still nice and pliable, so it's alive. You need to be quiet. You talk too much, you know it? That dog, I swear. Anyway, we're going to see the stabilization, how it is handheld, just kind of walking around like I have been doing. And then we'll do an 8K time lapse to see did they improve the resolution of the 8K. And then we're going to see does the Super EIS mode actually work this time with the app. Alright, now with EIS Supersmooth, see if it actually runs through the app or not. If it does, great, because I could never get it to work before. Maybe. Right, Riley? Maybe. Alright, now with EIS Supersmooth, see if it actually runs through the app or not. If it does, great, because I could never get it to work before. Maybe. Right, Riley? Maybe. Alright, now with EIS Supersmooth, see if it actually runs through the app or not. If it does, great, because I could never get it to work before. Maybe. Right, Riley? Maybe. One of the things I do notice is that the rear screen with this new firmware update is a little bit more, I can't say buggy, but a little bit more laggy. So when you're hitting it, sometimes it doesn't want to respond. Oh, and by the way, while we're doing this, we'll see how the audio sounds. Little audio test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what are my thoughts about the new firmware for the Akaso Brave 8? Well, I think that it's a good thing that the Supersmooth actually works in the phone app now, as opposed to before it did not. So, but you can see that there was a massive difference. Yes, it is very super smooth, but there is a pretty big crop involved. Another thing I noticed that I was not really pleased about is the fact that the exposure on the camera gets really hot. It overexposes even when it's set to auto. So if you saw my hand, it was overexposed. You look at the sky, it was overexposed. The audio definitely sounded good out of the camera, and when you didn't get an overexposed image, the image actually looked pretty good. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. As always, I'll catch you in the next review or update.